Missouri's future depends on providing each child with access to a high-quality education. The question is, how? Charter schools are emerging across the nation as one part of the solution, which opens whole new worlds to many who otherwise would have been trapped in a failing school district. Bienvenue.
Welcome to Academie Lafayette.
The school started originally in the mid-90s. There were a number of different immersion schools in the Kansas City, Missouri school district. When the district started making cutbacks, the language programs were the first schools that they looked at. And so the full French immersion school was really turning into a partial French immersion. And there were some parents and some teachers that were involved with that school that weren't happy with that. Charter school legislation had just passed. They got together, they wrote their charter, they formed what is now Academie Lafayette.
Bonjour. J'aime les professeurs, tous mes amis, les classes de français.
Charter schools are independent schools that are free to be more innovative, yet are held accountable for improved student achievement.
I think it's a misconception that charter schools are not held to the same academic standards through the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. We are. The difference is Kansas City students and parents have a choice.
Charter schools can provide a more structured learning environment, more student discipline, and increased parental involvement.
Our program is so successful because we have those dedicated teachers and we have those parents who put in hundreds of hours of volunteer time to make this school what it is. This was a grant we received from the Menorah Legacy Foundation. That grant was written by one of our parents, and he got money to start a fruit cart, which gives kids fresh fruit and vegetables 3 times a week. It also supports class gardens on our playground.
Charter schools can give leaders more flexibility when managing their school, allowing them to respond to parents' and students' needs.
It's pretty nice that our school board is a very small school board. They're all stakeholders in our environment, so there's very little bureaucracy that has to go on for a decision to be made. The teacher's voice is heard loud and clear.
The value of a charter school is when there are things that need to happen at the school, they can happen very quickly.
Charter schools can hold teachers, students, and parents accountable for improving student achievement and enable schools to focus on their primary mission of preparing students for academic advancement.
Once they graduate, they go to high school, and many of them get to go to high school of their choice. And then they go on to college. We have some students at McGill, some of them at Dartmouth. We even have a student in Harvard.
The graduates of the school are testing out as well or better than the graduates of the private schools in not just the city, but in the county and everything as well.
Charter schools can attract high-quality teachers from around the world.
Teachers from Belgium and South Africa and France. It gives them a very different and I think a better perspective of the world and what it means to live in the world today.
Our teachers are so committed and they give the kids a broad cultural perspective of the world. We don't just see things in this tiny box. We see things on a very broad global perspective.
Charter schools can increase parental options for where to send their child to school. This charter school kept one family from moving out of Kansas City and caused another to move to Kansas City.
20 years ago, we also lived in the city, and my parents were sending 4 children to a private school and had to choose between living in a very small home and sending their kids to private school or moving out to the suburbs where there wasn't the tuition, and that's exactly what they chose to do. I find so interesting now, here we are faced with that same decision too. You would have thought during that time things would have gotten better, but they didn't, and we seriously considered a move to a suburb somewhere.
While charter schools are opening doors for some children in Missouri, unfortunately Missouri law restricts them anywhere outside of the Kansas City and St. Louis public school districts. Clearly, statewide expansion would be in the best interest of parents, their children, and their community. For more information or to become part of the solution, contact Earl Sims at the Children's Education Alliance of Missouri at 314-454-6544 or log on to www.childrenseducationalliance-mo.org.